Peace, family. I don't know if y'all can see me. I'm trying a new setup. I'm going live this way for the first time, and I don't know how many of the family I'm gonna get in here right off the bat, but I got a lot of issues I want to talk about. So, be patient with me if the stream messes up or lags, or I do something that um to where as though this stream, might mess up or something like that, because I'm just trying to, see what works and don't work in terms of the streaming. Because I want to be, what I want to be able to do is import videos into here and talk to you guys. Now, I was told, in order to make this run a little bit smoother, I should have, two laptops set up, but I ain't going, to that extent right now. I work with what I got for the time being. So, all I got is, one laptop, so we gotta make it do what it do. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm gonna be using my phone to check the comments when I do get some people in here. I don't know how many people I'm gonna get in here right off the bat, but we gonna make it do what it do. You know what I mean? And hold on, family. Let me see something. See if this is working or not. Will it be able to work for me to see the comments? Yeah, I think this is going to work for me to be able to see the comments. I had to pull it up on my phone. I'm just trying to set up for the first time to see, like I said, if it works, what works, and what don't work. Um, you know, to everyone in the room, if you're viewing my channel for the first time, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm constantly dropping content, with a message of empowerment to the FBA family. So first off, I want to get into, some things I seen in the news. And that was they got a historical black town in Louisiana that lost its fight to become a historical landmark. You know what I mean? And we see this a lot, because I just seen something like this coming out of Texas where they had a historical black town there that was being gentrified. They had a big wig company coming in there called Eureka Holdings or something of that nature, and what they was doing was buying up all the property, finagling black people out of land. And I think historical black neighborhoods should be, federally recognized and protected. You know what I mean? That's nonsense that they lost that fight for that, and that's down in Louisiana. They lost the fight to be recognized as a historical, black community. And they said the name, this particular name of this place was, what the hell was it? Uh, I forget the name of it offhand. It was something parish, family. I don't want to get to, saying stuff that ain't true, right and exact, but it was something parish, this town down there in Louisiana, and they weren't they lost their funding when they was fighting, to get federally recognized, you know what I mean? And moving right along. Here go a particular story I found, family, where they had a young brother. I think he was about 20 years old. I think this story is also out of Louisiana, with his brother. He was going to, a college up there. It says Southern University student, dies off campus fraternity ritual. Now they ain't saying that this, was possibly hazing. The news ain't putting it out that way, but he died in some mysterious ways, and I don't want to get to saying things that ain't true, right, and exact, but it certainly seems like it could have been like a hazing ritual with this Omega Sci-Fi. He was doing some kind of I don't want to jump the gun, but it certainly seems, looking at this thing logical from a logical standpoint, that it very well could have been a hazing. He died in some sort of ritual, off campus, and that brother had his whole life ahead of him and died. You know what I mean? And I don't really rock with them fraternities, too heavy, because all of them black fraternities, they come out of Greek, so that really ain't ours in all actuality. You know what I mean? I ain't knocking no one that's in them particular fraternities, but I don't rock with them. And this brother died, during an Omega Sci-Fi, and this could have very well been a hazing. I don't want to jump the gun, but I got the audio and the video of it. We're gonna play it right now, family. Fair use.
Puts a pause on all membership activities on its campus following the death of a student.
Baton Rouge police say Kenner native Caleb Wilson died after collapsing during a fraternity ritual off campus. Chris Welty has more on the investigation.
I believe this brother was FBA too, you know what I mean? It's crazy. He had his whole life ahead of him, died.
20-year-old Caleb Wilson was a junior at Southern University studying mechanical engineering. The Kenner native graduated.
Let me know if y'all can hear me, family. To the family that's watching, I don't got that many people in here, but if y'all can't hear the audio or something glitches, let me know, because I'm looking at my phone, to read the comment section.
Graduated high school from Warren Easton, where he was also a member of the band. Police say Wilson and members of Omega Psi Phi fraternity were at North Sherwood Forest Community Park. According to sources, members of the fraternity were carrying out a ritual where pledges stand in line when Wilson collapsed. Wilson was unresponsive when a group of friends brought him to a Baton Rouge hospital. Wilson was pronounced dead at 3:15 Friday morning.
Send prayers out to the family and hope they can.
See, something don't sound right with me. The news media ain't putting it out there like that, but I think this very well could have been a possible hazing, or something, some kind of nonsense went on with this brother. You know what I mean?
Get through this and hope SU can support in a supportive way.
An autopsy is pending to determine his cause of death. In a statement, Southern University says the campus is cooperating with Baton Rouge police.
All that information the detectives will look at, and then that will determine where we go.
I feel like as over time, we're going to see how it unfolds.
Wilson's death is sending ripples through Southern's campus.
SU is a community where we take pride in bonding together and uplift each other, and it's just very unfortunate that this situation happened to one of our family members.
Everybody on campus loved the Human Jukebox, even people that don't go here, so for them to lose a member of the band, I know it's going to be hard on them.
He was young. He did have a whole life ahead of him, and like you said, he was a member of our Human Jukebox, and he got great things going for him.
Leaders in Orleans and Jefferson Parish offering condolences. Saints and Pelicans owner Gail Benson released a statement calling Wilson a very bright student. Mrs. Benson went on to say, quote, "This tragic loss has hit very close to my heart. As his father, Sergeant Corey Wilson has worked with our team for many years. I have a deep and personal connection to his family. We mourn with him." Jefferson Parish Sheriff Joe Lapinto said, quote, "The Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office extends its condolences to Deputy Corey Wilson and his family following the heartbreaking loss of his son Caleb." JPSO.
That's a crazy one, family. I don't know all the logistics to it, but it certainly seems like some nonsense could have took place. I don't want to jump the gun on it because we see this all the time of where fraternities run they new recruits into all kind of nonsense and things like that. It very well could have caused his death, but like I said, I don't want to jump the gun. So all this is allegedly because they ain't put it out there in the news media as that. You know what I mean? But it's certainly, looking at it from a logical standpoint, could have very well been a hazing ritual. So yeah, that's just a sad, RIP to that brother. He was very young to go out like that, and lose his life. But something else I wanted to talk about, family, some nonsense that's going on is, I don't know if y'all seen or heard, but our brother Stevie Wonder, got dual citizenship in Ghana, and now Ghana, Google rather, putting it out there that brother Stevie Wonder is Ghanaian American, and this is crazy. Where the hell they do that at? Knowing good and well our brother Stevie Wonder ain't no damn Ghanaian American. Everything that shaped our brother Stevie Wonder's experience, his life, his parents is FBA. So you know what I mean? This is, just to undermine our lineage as foundational Black Americans and try to make us Africanize us. And I don't really respect this because what they're trying to do, and it's a huge agenda at play, and if anyone can't see this, they blind, you know what I mean? Because it's a huge agenda at play for them to, diminish our history and legacy and our culture as foundational Black Americans and to dump us into some broad kind of bucket with all African groups, and this just ain't the case. We're unique as foundational Black Americans. We got our own history, legacy, culture, our own cultural foods, and this is just done to diminish us as foundational Black Americans. And I watched on Brother Tariq Nasheed podcast. I didn't even know our brother, Stevie Wonder, our FBA brother Stevie Wonder, wasn't even born blind. I mean, yeah, he could see when he was born. In all actuality, he was born with his eyesight, and then what happened was he was born premature, and they put our brother into an incubator. And in this incubator, they had the oxygen turned up on too high, which caused some kind of damage to his retina. So that was malpractice on the part of the hospital, and I ain't even know this, you know what I mean? And I don't know if any of the family, knew our brother, Stevie Wonder was born with his eyesight, because I for sure as hell didn't. You know what I mean? Because everything that, made our brother Stevie Wonder was the FBA experience we went through, our hardships, our struggle, us being oppressed and marginalized, and all of the adversity and struggles we went through and overcame, so that's what shaped our brother Stevie Wonder, and all of his music, represents that, you know what I mean? He got music representing the struggle, uplifting songs, this, that, and the other. And I hate when they try to take our cultural achievements and, give them to Africa. You know what I mean? Because we seen this with hip hop, a little bit where when we was, saying, when we were, telling the truth about where hip hop was created from, which is us, foundational Black Americans, they tried to throw in there, well, the drum was created out of Africa. They say everything, take our stuff from our hands, you know what I mean? And Africa or nowhere had a damn influence on foundational Black American music, culture, or nothing to do with our food. You know what I mean? Because these people, what it is, this is the true definition of tethering. You know what I mean? For them to try to come and, lay claim to our cultural achievements and, the things that, we've done as foundational Black Americans, which wasn't nothing but greatness. Everything we brought to the world is truthfully, what inspires the world. You could look the world abroad and find people, trying to move and shake as foundational Black Americans, from the way we dress, to the type of music we listen to. These people, revere us as foundational Black Americans. We are we are the fashion statement. When we do something, it puts out a message to the world that this is cool and popular. We the ones that determine who can sit at the cool table and who can't. You know what I mean? So this is just, really disingenuous, and it's a total lie of trying to make our brother, Stevie Wonder, and say he's African. Now they got this thing up on Google, Wikipedia, and all that, saying that he's a Ghanaian American, and this is to take the credit from foundational Black American hands. See, in all actuality, these people know that they owe us. They got a debt to pay when it comes to foundational Black American society, and that debt is cash reparations. And by them trying to, take and make us some generic second-class Africans, this is to undermine too. Another angle we got to look at it as, this is used to try to undermine our, claim to reparations. Because if they could detach us from this land over here in America, they know that they could detach us to our claim for reparations, because they don't owe Africa not a damn thing, but they do owe the foundational Black Americans. You know what I mean? And we ain't African. We had an ethnogenesis over here in America, and I just don't like, where they taking this thing. I could see an extreme agenda at play with everything we do and create as foundational Black Americans. From them trying to stick um, tether immigrants into our movie roles of our historical icons. Why not just get a foundational Black American? Why not just get the real? It's not like the real thing, baby, how the song goes. So why not just get that real thing? Why do you gotta go out of your way to, undermine FBA society by recruiting foreign tether immigrants into these roles? There are icons, and if we would play their icons, they have a whole hissy fit and maybe stone us to death. They wouldn't rock with us, playing their icons and doing certain things, and them giving credit, them saying that Stevie Wonder is Ghanaian. This is in all actuality, trying to give the credit to Africa for something they had nothing to do with. It was us as foundational Black Americans. He's of our lineage, you know what I mean? So our struggles and adversities is what built Stevie Wonder, not no damn, Africa, because, they ain't got the same, lineage as us. They ain't got the same struggles and adversity we go through as foundational Black Americans. This is why a lot of them come here not to be, talking bad, not to talk bad and disparaging about people, but this is why a lot of them come here and lay docile and dormant. They don't fight no systematic injustice and white supremacy like we do. We the only ones that, have historically always fought without letting up the system of racism, white supremacy. These other groups of people cool with, going along to get along, the status quo, as long as it don't affect them. Even if, we ain't directly being affected by white supremacy, we know that white supremacy is a problem as foundational Black Americans, and we know it needs to be knocked down quick, fast, and in a hurry. So even if things ain't directly being done to us per se, we fight it, you know what I mean? Because we see it as something that got to be, knocked down. But I just don't like the route that they taking this in, with our brother Stevie Wonder, and trying to say he's Ghanaian, because this, is to wipe us out in all actuality, to wipe out our achievements, and and just give the credit to Africa, on credit that ain't even theirs. He belongs to our lineage as foundational Black Americans. Mother and father is a foundational Black American. So why the hell are people going out of their way to try to give some kind of credit to Africa? You know what I mean? This is a stream agenda at play. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna be on here too long. You know what I mean? I just wanted to bring that to the family, because that really got me, kind of pissed off that they would, try to take credit for our great musical icon Stevie Wonder and give it to Africa, because in all actuality, he ain't African. You know what I mean? And they know good and well he ain't. It's a huge agenda now to try to get foundational Black Americans to, adopt some being generic Africans and Africanizing us. And that just ain't the kind of time we on. It's a different day and time where we recognizing our lineage as foundational Black American freedmen, and we recognizing all of our contributions that we made to the U.S., which is most of what's good going on in the U.S. comes out of foundational Black American hands and our minds. You know what I mean? Um, you know, we're a great people. A phenomenal people, in the words of our brother Dr. Claude Anderson. But let me get a swig of water, family. I seen some other nonsense going around, where these African Brits is trying to say that I don't know what this person talking uh, in the comment section, but I seen a video circulating where they got African Brits running around talking now that they have their own version of soul food, which couldn't be further from the truth. Everything we do as foundational Black Americans, people want to steal and emulate and lay claim to it, and this is the true definition of a tether. Tethering on to our lineage, and we ain't going for that no more. We let it go unchecked for far too long as foundational Black Americans, and they ain't got no damn thing called no soul food or nothing comparable to soul food. Soul food is unique, and to us as foundational Black Americans, it came out of the South, during slavery, where we was forced to work with what we had, which wasn't much at the time. So we was forced in all actuality to make something out of nothing. So these people ain't got no damn claim to soul food, and they ain't got nothing like soul food. Don't let these people sit up here and lie to you, family. We are the driving force in the culture that moves the world. And I'm convinced that these people, not to be disparaging, but they ain't got no damn culture, they sell because they want to, lay claim to our iconic figures, like Malcolm X and, others, because we were hearing the narrative of, Malcolm X is got a parent Ghanaian, but also his father was FBA, and everything that made Malcolm X was FBA. He wasn't influenced by, anything going on over there in Africa. His influence came from here on American soil. He was foundational Black American to the core. They also try to pull this with Nipsey Hussle, because his dad, was Eritrean, I believe, but his mother was FBA. So he's still, FBA. He wasn't inspired by, that culture. Not to say that he didn't acknowledge it, but that didn't, shape and mold Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was shaped and molded here on American soil. He had the spirit of resistance, and I don't know if any of the family remembers, but brother Nipsey Hussle used to wear a Malcolm X chain. You know what I mean? He had a knowledge of self. You know what I mean? So yeah, they can miss me with that. Everything we do, they try to lay claim to it and tether on to it. You know what I mean? And like I said, back to the soul food thing, because I digress a little bit. But the soul food, it was made out of the South, and it was made, out of our struggle and things that we had to go through at the time, such as slavery, and we made something out of nothing. You know what I mean? Like we always do. We always rise from adversity. See, these people thought in all actuality they was going to, you know, uh, have us foundational Black Americans destroyed a long time ago, but we rose above the oppression and we rose to the occasion. And they seen that, everything they threw at us, we was blocking it, dodging it, and weaving it, and we was fighting back, and we was able to overcome and, rise above these people, whatever they threw at us, the white supremacist society. Because white supremacist society, when they throw things at these other groups of people, they defeat them. Even if it ain't a physical defeat, it's a psychological defeat. Because a lot of these, melanated other groups, they psychologically defeated, you know, um, not to sound disparaging or talk bad, but I'm just keeping it all the way real. A lot of these, other African groups coming out of the Caribbean, Africa, you name it, the British blacks, you know what I mean? They've been defeated, and it's a defeatist mindset. They wasn't able to psychologically defeat us as foundational Black Americans. We've always fought back with resistance, and fall back, this oppressive system, and they ain't used to that. They used to people when they come up against white supremacy, then people, um, succumbing to white supremacy. We never succumbed to white supremacy. We always rose above white supremacy and, fought it tooth and nails. You know what I mean? And that's the only reason, we was able to rise up out of slavery, truth be told, because if they would have had it the way they wanted it, slavery would still be intact. So they could miss me, because we hear that narrative of that running around too, where, you know, uh, they freed us out of slavery out of the kindness of their hearts. They was forced to, let us go because we was, laying a spanking to that ass as foundational Black Americans. We was fighting back with resistance and, standing on business. But the jealousy, the real CP show, the jealousy is real. How many of their parents ran from Africa and Jamaica, etc. Yeah, they run and then they come up over here, and then they want to tether on us and lie. These people, I'm convinced, all they know how to do is lie because every time you turn around, they got a new lie saying that they did something that we did or they were here, there, their food is like ours, this, that, and the other. We got hip hop from them. Everything these people do is just to lie and tether on us. And them days is over with. You know what I mean? This is why the delineation movement was well overdue in my book because, what this does is it lets things be exclusive. When things is all when things is inclusive rather, people could come amongst you and steal from you, your culture, your cultural art forms, the things you created, and they could piggyback off your success. Now everybody's forced to hold their own nuts and stand on their own too. And I love it because we get to separate the boys from the men, so to speak. MD Williams. Peace to my brother MD Williams, always in the chat showing love. Peace and B1, brother. FBA Revolt and FBA Peoples from the Ville. Peace to my brother MD Williams. He always in here showing love. But yeah, you know what I mean? These people, they gotta hold their own nuts now. And they really, envious of foundational Black Americans. It's jealousy and it's a lot of, hate because these people they had to flee from their homeland of origin. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't make the cut there. They couldn't knock the, injustices and oppression that was going down because truth be told, they got a lot of tribalism and things going on in these places where they just can't get it together. You know what I mean? And then they come up over here and they project their worries, cares, and fears on us and try to, make us a part of what they doing. This is what we seen going on with that mass deportation thing. I mainly seen the Latinos, out here running around, but it's the same story we see with all these tethers all the way around the board, them trying to steal or want us to fight their battles for them. And them days is over. We done being a sacrificial lamb as foundational Black Americans. We've absorbed everyone else's blows for them while they sit back and sit on their hands, so to speak, and just, watch us out there doing the fighting and the heavy lifting. And them days is over. You know what I mean? But back to that soul food thing, that really had me kind of tight. You know what I mean? Because they running around here now saying that they had they got a similar dish. They got dishes that are like soul food and our soul food. They got their own version of soul food. You know what I mean? And this is just so disingenuous, and it's a bold-faced lie, truth be told, because soul food. Its name by definitions represents foundational Black Americans because we were the only people labeled the people and called the people with soul. They known us the world over for having that soul music. We were always called the people of soul. So people trying to, lay claim to what we got going on is very disingenuous. They can't have a soul food by definition because we were the only people defined as having, being the people with soul. You know what I mean? We get in there, we rock the crowd, even if, people don't feel soul music. You get a real organic FBA soul singer on stage. You can have people that don't even like soul music, but I bet you they're gonna get to moving and shaking when that music hit them. When that music get a hold of them and it gets in them. They're gonna start moving, shaking, tapping their feet. Clapping their hands, and this is the kind of ability we as foundational Black Americans possess, and these other groups of people just don't possess it. You know what I mean? They can't go in there and sell out crowds and sell out audiences, and have people that don't even like that genre or music per se. For example, you'll have a person that don't even like soul music, but you get an authentic FBA brother or sister, an old school one, that's really about that soul music. They'll make that person that don't even like soul music get up there to moving, snapping their fingers and dancing, you know what I mean? Or at least trying to dance. But these other groups of people, they ain't got what it takes, to be foundational Black Americans. So this is why they so just envious of us. Let me see this. The Real AP Show. That tells you all you need to know about them. How the only country in Africa That's why that was not conquered was Ethiopia. Even that is not true. Even they are embarrassed that FBAs don't run. Yeah, we never ran, and that's why they get mad too because we never ran. We still here standing on business, you know. And our lineage goes back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years on this land. You know what I mean? And people, you know, first sighted danger when things get to tough, they get to strapping on them shoes and boots hit the ground, they take off and running. You know what I mean? And us foundational Black Americans, we never done that. But I got the audio and the video of what's going on with this soul food thing, these African Brits running around telling lies, and we're gonna walk through and talk about it how we normally do. Let me pull this up, family. I gotta go over here. Hopefully I don't mess nothing up because like I said, this is my first time doing this setup. So I'm gonna go over here to Twitter. I know brother Tariq Nasheed had it on his page, so I'm gonna try to get it off of there if I don't mess nothing up. Because I never did this type setup before. I'm really supposed to have dual monitors from what I understand. My nephew helped me set it up, but he told me I should have dual monitors, but I got to work with what I got, meaning 2 laptops to where though I could read the comments and don't have to do it this way. But you got to work with what you got sometimes and make that work. Here we go. This line tether.
The Africans. That's what
and other
that's
communities,
other communities, but it is the influence community. Even what is American food? But if you think about that, it's the influence from the Africans. That's what
and other communities,
and other communities.
How the hell does Africa have an influence on our soul food as foundational Black Americans or African or American food in general? It doesn't. These people sitting up here telling a bold-faced lie, family.
Communities, but it is the influence from that. But because they want to separate themselves so much from that, where do you think this shit comes from?
You guys separated yourselves from us when a lot of you guys is no good people that was over there on the continent of Africa sold our people out for trinkets, and got rid of our people. So, you guys never wanted no alliances with us. And when we tried to push the Pan-African thing, it was us foundational Black Americans only doing the heavy lifting. These other groups of people will come over here, and we thought we had some kind of coalition with y'all, and y'all secretly working in the background to undermine our people. So that Pan-African thing hasn't historically worked out for our people. And, I say good riddance to it, you know what I mean? And these other groups of people got to hold their own nuts. And they say that we want to separate from them. They separate from us. A lot of these people don't even consider themselves Black. They consider themselves where they from. Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, Ghana, Congo, wherever. You get my drift, family. But they don't, see themselves the same as us. And that's cool because we ain't the same. We foundational Black Americans, you know what I mean? And you guys had absolutely no influence on our culture here. Everything over here, that we as foundational Black Americans did, we did it here on our own homeland. You know what I mean? We had an ethnogenesis. We ain't no damn generic second-class Africans. But let's continue. Brother M.D. Williams, we can't be that scared. That can't hold. Back to this.
It's a misunderstanding to what they don't understand that actually they don't understand that we have our own version of soul food. And though we call it,
how the hell they got their own version of soul food? By definition, they ain't got no version of soul food. And you know how disrespectful this is for them running around saying they do have a version of soul food? That's like us saying that we got a version of jollof rice. It's just not true. But we don't do that as foundational Black Americans. Sit there and try to cosplay and tether on to other people's, creations and things like that, because we've always been a creative people. And that speaks to a lot, these people don't really have a culture, not to be disparaging, because that shows you in and of itself. Every time, you turn around, these people are lying, trying to, steal our cultural achievements, tether on to the lineage, and, take credit for our cultural icons like Malcolm X and others. These people just ain't got no damn culture, and they need to, start telling the truth, because by definition, we were never influenced by no damn, Africa where we got our food, especially not no damn soul food. Soul food, by definition, is foundational Black Americans, because we were the only people that were said to, be the people with soul. You know what I mean? And this is widely known. So she just, showing how stupid she look in all actuality.
It's African food or Nigerian food, Ghanaian food, Caribbean food, Canadian food, and traditional dishes. We have soul food over here. Soul food isn't exclusive to Americans. We just don't call it.
Soulfood is exclusive to America, foundational Black Americans to be exact, because we made that out of struggle, oppression that we was going on with slavery. We took something out of nothing, you know what I mean? We didn't have a lot, but that little bit that we had, we made it stretch out, and we fed people, looked out for them, and we made it do what it do, you know what I mean?
It's different. Food, yeah. But it's about education. If you haven't had these conversations, you're going to ask these questions.
She talking about education. She need to, go educate herself because she sounds stupid, saying that we got some kind of they got some kind of soul food. We was influenced by them, this, that, and the other. Foundational Black Americans weren't influenced by a damn soul. Everything we did, we created it because we're such a creative people. We created soul food, and the fact that they want to lie shows how, much these people want to tether on to our lineage, you know what I mean, and cosplay as us. And them days is over. These people are going to be, forced to hold their own nuts, so to speak. And these people are just so, you know what I mean, so much of, liars, that they got to try to steal everything we create as foundational Black Americans. Let's see. Trying to read these comments, family. MD Williams, Blood Crow 69, they putting some tasteless beans on them toasted white bread. Yeah, and them people ain't got nothing comparable to soul food. That would be like us, the equivalent of us saying that we made jollof rice. These people wouldn't have it. They'd be out here having a whole hissy fit. They don't want us to lay claim to, anything of theirs. We can't touch nothing of theirs, but they could come over here and steal and take everything from us. They even got a lot of these foreign tethers going to these HBCUs, and foundational Black American brothers and sisters, they have a hard time getting in them. And I seen where Brother Tariq Nasheed was talking about on his channel, they give a lot of scholarships at these HBCUs to these foreign tethers. And, that was our institution that we worked to create, them historic HBCUs. So how the hell are they coming over here, and getting more resources in terms of HBCUs than foundational Black Americans is getting? I don't like where they're taking this whole thing of, I think it's, a play to, in all actuality, with the rise and how they trying to, get the Africanize us and bringing all these other melanated groups over here. I think it's a play to, them trying to wipe out foundational Black American history, culture, and legacy. And that's just something we ain't gonna let go down on foundational Black American grassroots. We ain't gonna let that go down by any means, because I think that's what they trying to do in all actuality. It's a stream agenda to wipe us out in our culture, because why go through the hassle of bringing all these people over here, because they know that they don't owe these people a debt, and they ain't gonna fight no systematic injustice and white supremacy. We the only people that's gonna do it, and they know they owe us, so they want to replace us, so they ain't got to pay that debt that's owed, and that debt that's owed is cash reparations. Blood Crow. There are no Black people on the face of this earth that's close to what FBA have done. Nah, there ain't no people. Shout out to Blood Crow 1698. There ain't no Black people on the face of this earth that done and have achieved, out of struggle and adversity what foundational Black Americans have. If you look all over the world, when you think of Black people, you think of the foundational Black American. You ain't thinking of no tribes, people sitting over there in Africa, Haiti. You think about the foundational Black American. What we laid and gave to this world, especially over here in America, is bar none. We set the trends that influenced the whole world. And a good, thing about this, a good point that I can make and use to, show how we influenced the whole world. When Brother Kendrick Lamar did that dance at the Super Bowl, foundational Black American brother Kendrick Lamar, he set the trends and put out the fashion statements that influenced the whole world. I seen everywhere coming down my social media timeline, everywhere, TikTok, you name it. People trying to copy and emulate our brother Kendrick Lamar's dance. That shows the extreme influence we have as foundational Black Americans. It's something in us, that Majara spirit, whatever you want to call it, that other people just don't have. And they seek to have it. And if they can't have it, they at least want to be around foundational Black Americans. The hopes of some of our Majara spirit wear off on them. But they just ain't got what we got. You know what I mean? They ain't got the same kind of soul. They ain't got the same kind of, fight in them, will and tenacity, the same creativeness. We're bar none as foundational Black Americans. I can't say, how phenomenal we are, I can't put it into words, but these other groups of people, they know it. This is, in all actuality, why they want to still come amongst us, cosplaying, tethering on to us. they like, damn, if I can't be as great as them, let me just try to tether on to them. Let me try to, let me try to emulate them to, get some kind of swag from them, just to, be around these people, is a one up, coming from where I come from, we ain't got nothing quite like this. You know what I mean? And it's, it speaks to how great we are as foundational Black Americans, that everyone in this world wants to copy and emulate us. And they was running around saying our brother Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance didn't have no substance. If it ain't have substance, I for sure as hell couldn't tell. Everyone and their mother was trying to copycat and emulate it, dancing. You had white people, Latinos, you name it, trying to do his dance. The Real CP show. It's like this Tether Buckers claiming jazz, hip hop from Africa and Jamaica. Yeah, they was trying to claim that jazz and hip hop. They got so desperate they was trying to throw anything to the wall. The real CP show. Yeah, they was trying to throw anything to the wall. They was trying to even say, well, the drum came out of Africa, and technically that's our creation. So that makes hip hop African. They can miss me with all that. You know what I mean? They know good and well hip hop ain't no damn African or no one else on earth but foundational Black Americans. You know what I mean? And we were so gracious that we incorporated everyone into everything we did. People have grown accustomed to it. And now we saying, nah, hold off. You know what I mean? This is just exclusively for us. This is about foundational Black Americans for foundational Black Americans. That's where the problem lies. That's why people screaming and running around crying bloody murder now, because they can't come amongst us no more. Cosplaying as us. Everyone ain't invited to the cookout no more. And they got to hold their own nuts. And they got a problem with that because they ain't used to it. They used to us being a voice piece, advocating for them, fighting for them, incorporating them into everything we do. You know what I mean? And they got their cool points from us. We gave them the credibility they needed. You know what I mean? To do what they do. Like even Fat Ho, for example. Fat Joe couldn't have made it to where, he was in hip hop without foundational Black Americans. We co-signed and endorsed him. We let him sit with us, and this gave him the type of authenticity he needed. Because he for sure as hell, couldn't come up, putting out no Latino music. Everyone had to incorporate and amalgamate into what we was doing to get some kind of, swag and, to build themselves up. They got to tether off of us. That's a great example right there. People just, and them days is gone where we just letting everyone come amongst us, because the power, like I always say, ain't letting everyone come amongst you and accepting everybody into your group. The power is in being exclusive. You don't want that car, for example, family, you don't want that car that you see everybody driving down the road. You don't want that regular Honda. In all actuality, you want something exclusive. If you can have your way with it, you want that Lamborghini. You rather have that Lamborghini where you see one or two people driving, because it's exclusive. That's why everyone wants that Lamborghini. You know what I mean? And when you letting everyone, come amongst you, it ain't no power in that. The power is in being exclusive. You know what I mean? That shows power. That's strength and power right there, being exclusive. Inclusive, that's just watering you down. Even with a cup of coffee, you don't put hella creamer in there if you want it to be strong, because you diluting it. You leave the coffee alone, let it be, and that coffee going to hit. And this is what we doing. We just, defining what things are, who could come amongst us, who can't. We define who we are by calling ourselves, even foundational Black Americans, and these other groups of people, the white supremacists, name them in all actuality. So, they mad, they ain't got no creativeness, no authenticity. We do as foundational Black Americans. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get off of here soon, family. But them Brits talking about, they had some kind of claim to they got some kind of claim. What they trying to do is they trying to flip and remix it, and sooner than we know it, they'll try to say, well, hell, like we seen going on with hip hop. Well, hell, we created Soulfood 50/50, and then before you know it, they'll kick us all the way out of it and say, the hell with it. We created it. They'll get bold and more brazen in their stance. This is why we getting out here and nipping a lot of things in the bud. And from what I'm hearing, family, this is something I also forgot to add. These African Brits, they got whole channels designated to talking bad about foundational Black Americans. And this is why, I love having a FBA grassroots platform, because we get to counteract some of these narratives, that they putting out here, these false narratives that they running around with. They expected, to just be able to say what they want. There wasn't going to be no pushback and resistance to it. But we got real FBA media, such as myself and other brothers and sisters, that's out here counteracting these false narratives, because this is very telling that these people sit up, got whole platforms such as the one I just showed. They said this was one of them, these African Brits. They sit up here, and talk about FBA business and politics 24/7, and are putting down our lineage. They got whole platforms dedicated to, trying to denigrate and minimize our contributions, and that's in all actuality what they trying to do, is minimize our contributions. We ain't some generic Africans, and they ain't got nothing, even remotely similar to our soul food over there, and by definition, soul food, that belongs to us. And they ain't got nothing, like we got. And if we would say that, we made jollof rice or something, these people have a whole hissy fit and want to stone us to death. These people are so disingenuous. These people are liars, tethers, cheaters, and scammers. You know what I mean? And we getting out here counteracting, they false narrative that they putting out. And niche, they love Queen Elizabeth. Black Brits have a seat. Yeah, they love the people that's keeping them down and oppressing them. You know what I mean? I heard they was running around crying when Queen Elizabeth passed. Good riddance to me. Blood Crow, if others created hip hop, ask them. They got a pumping from their own country. It just asks them that stops their whole argument. Yeah, why couldn't they get it popping in their own country, or why can't they get it popping in their own language? Because it's a total complete lie, the hip hop thing. And we, put out the truth, and that's why people were running around crying. But the power ain't in, being inclusive, family. The power is in being exclusive. And these Black Brits are totally telling a lie with them, influencing or having something, them having their own version of soul food. They ain't got nothing remotely close to soul food. Soul food is an FBA creation made for us, solely by us, and it was made out of our struggles and oppression, and being in slavery and bondage, and us having a limited amount of resources to work with. We was able to take something out of nothing. So anyone, running around here with this false narrative, family, we got to work to combat that, because before you know it, if we let this lie go unchecked, they'll be running around here saying we created soul food, and trying to lay claim to that now, we getting out here before things, gain momentum. These lies gain momentum, because a lie, when it's able to fester, if it's unchecked, it could then become the truth. A lie that's able to fester. So we getting out here counteracting these, false narratives. But these Black Brits, we gotta, keep our eyes on them, because I hear that they got a whole platform, dedicated to, destroying our history, legacy, and culture as foundational Black Americans, and them trying to denigrate our society. So I'm getting ready to get off of here, family. I just wanted to try my new setup. Hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. If you haven't, shout out to Gary Williams, FBA. Blessings, my brother and family from Watts, California. Salute to my brother, peace to my brother Gary Williams from Watts, California. You know what I mean? And peace to all of the family in the chat. And Niche, Blood Crow, my brother MD Williams, and everyone else tapping in with me. And make sure if you're new to the channel, you like and subscribe. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be banging out more content, family. I'll probably put up some pre-recorded videos, and I'm gonna continue to do my live thing every Saturday morning. So make sure you tap in with me, and make sure you like and subscribe, family. And if you get a chance, check out some of the new FBA merch I got up on the channel. You know what I mean? I got some of Sister Frances Cress Wilson, Nellie Fuller. I think it's FBA Warrior Class. I got the messaging on the shirt, FBA Warrior Class, stands on business. I got a whole bunch of stuff, family. Tap in with me, and, make sure you be aware out there, family, and be safe, because to be aware is to be alive. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.